Hey guys, my name is Reddy. Today we're going to be building a native color picker for the web. Maybe later on we're going to add iOS and Android, but at least right now we're going to focus on the web. So first of all, what you're going to go ahead and do is create a folder and then open up that folder in VS Code. Let's go ahead and create the default package. So Flutter create dash package, and then we're just going to use .i. So since we know we're already in the folder, let's also create the example. Perfect. Now to get this registered, let's go ahead and reload the window once this finishes. And let's go ahead and remove all the comments. If you're curious about some of the extensions I'll be using, I have remove all comments right here. And we also have, I'll be using remove blank lines right here, as well as the Flutter plugin. So here we have this. This is deprecated, so we can remove this. Let's go ahead and add our URL. And our SDK level is good. We can go ahead and update the description. Perfect. And let's go in and remove this. Remove test for now. So what we're going to do first is we're going to be creating a federated plugin that only works on the web at the moment. So let's create a source folder and a native color picker. Let's go ahead and export that. This is useful for the way Dart deals with files. And we can also give it a version if people care about it. Okay. Now we want to have a couple different files in here. We're going to have a web.dart, a impl.dart, and we will add a mobile.dart and a desktop.dart, since all these could be done in different ways. And that should be it. So now this file is going to use conditional importing. And we actually need to add a unsupported. This will be our fallback on the platforms we don't support. So to start off, since we're only supporting, and actually we can remove this. We can put this here. This will make sense in a minute. So we can go ahead and delete that. All right, so we have these files right here. We're going to start off with the IMPL because this will allow us to, implementation is what it's short for, but it allows us to define our interface that the other classes are going to override. So we're going to do abstract class, let's call it color picker PL. Perfect. And then we're going to have let's just give it a generic class of, a function, color So this method will be, let's do pick color. And we can update this as we go too. So one of the nice things about this is that it's flexible. Okay, perfect. Actually, we want to declare this without a function body since we want it to be overridden. Okay, so let's go over to web. This will be the one we start on. We're going to call color, or let's do native color picker. Native color picker extends color picker implementation. Let's go ahead and import that. And we see we need to override it. So in this case, we're also going to be importing HTML. We can do this because we don't have to worry about Dart.io or anything else on the native side since we're conditionally importing it right here. So let's look at this API. So this is the API that I found. What's cool about it is it offers a native functionality. So like if you click a color on Chrome, for example, it'll pop up the macOS color picker, which is super cool, giving you also the option for an eyedropper. And then on Safari and mobile, it'll even have a special array type. And then you can click show colors and it'll also show this too. But I just thought this was super neat. And it even shows a special keyboard on mobile, so something the browser supports. So we need to look up this API. So we have a lot of the ways I find the documentation for some of the stuff for Dart in the web is from Angular Dart and Dart just being used on the web. So we can try searching for, actually we need element. So let's go ahead and look at this and see what it provides. Okay, we got, these are some of the default ones. I've used the file upload one before. Let's see if it's already defined. So let's go back to our web and we can go ahead and close these out. So let's see what we got. HTML, color, input element. Let's see. We have a couple different types, but we need specifically the input one. So actually open back up the API documentation. So it's type of color. We can give it a name. Let's also give it a value. So this will be, we could also pass in a default value. So let's go ahead and add this. This, we need to put it into a hexadecimal form, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So let's go back to here. We're going to do color default, or let's do value. This way, if the color user selects a color, the next time they go to select it, it'll pre-fill it with that correct color. So let's go ahead and add that in here. We can do right here if it's not equal to null. No, we do not want to duplicate it. All right, let's see. We can do, let's see how we can convert to hexadecimal. I have it pulled up over here. I have this function. Let's go ahead and drop it in. And we need a color package. So let's go ahead and import that. So we're curious. Let's go ahead and import this here. Let's run packages get. Awesome. So now this will take our color value and return a hexadecimal CSS string, which is what we need. So here, see, does it? We're going to put the pound sign for us. See what it provides. Yes, it does provide it. Perfect. So we can do color implementation, color string, and we can put our color right there. Awesome, sweet. So that should be good to go. Now we just need to return the color once they select it. So let's first of all just test to see if this works. Let's open up our example, do the same thing as earlier, remove all comments. You can format it. Let's depend on our current package. So you select it. This is just saying to look up one root, look up one directory so we can import it. We're going to have that there. So we're just testing this out. Let's do, let's just make the increment counter call this function. So we need to call native color picker. Make sure it's imported. Run packages get. Oh, we need to, sorry, we need to add one more thing. Let's go down to unsupported. We always have to have this. Let's do class. Here, extends just like before. Oops, not Kotlin. And here we're going to do something a little bit different, but it's still fine. Import it and override. Perfect. We just have our unimplemented error. We can say not supported. And let's go back here. Let's grab this. Perfect. That's what we wanted. We need to change this to a singleton so it looks a little bit better. You can say here, this is just for an example, but see right now it's just grabbing it. Let's go ahead and run it on the web. We can also create a launch file just for simplicity. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and move this to the left. It's a cool application, by the way. It's called Divi. It allows you to kind of put things side by side. Yeah, this is a really awesome API. Sweet. So we can also do some autocomplete as well as regular listing. We'll also need, this is where we're going to do next. This is where we're going to have the callbacks for the color. Awesome. Okay, let's see what happens. If everything goes well, this should show the native color picker. Let's see what we got. And it did not. Do we need to provide a color to begin with? Let's see. Let's try giving it a base one. So let's do red. Interesting. Let's check the console. Let's go ahead and print out just to make sure that we're not crazy. Ah, there we go. Oh, this is just a hot reload error. And we need to reload from the beginning. See if we're missing anything. Okay, let's try that again. It is saying picking color, so there's something else going on. Okay, I'm going to look up my image picker that I made just real quick. Let's see, file, access. Oh, that's the class. Let's see what we need to do. Interesting. File, upload input element. We did this with the color, but this is different. Let's see if we're doing the wrong type. Hidden input, let's try that one. Nope. Let's go to the definition. Go back to that. Go ahead and stop the application too. Oh, we could just use input element of type. Oh, here we go. Let's try that. That's what we want. Let's try that. Let's go ahead and run it again. Does not support Internet Explorer. Useful. Let's see if we're doing anything wrong. Click. Yeah, I think it might be click instead of select. Okay, let's see what happens. Awesome. Hey, there we go. So that's perfect. So now we need to take the callbacks. So let's look at this again. So we got a couple different listeners. We got input listener. Oh, this is a different one, sorry. It's our load. Oh, let's give it a fallback color too. It looks like people are, or it looks like that's a thing, so. Awesome. Are we gonna fall back to white? And let's do our callback. Interesting. Update first is this will be called for every value. And then this one is called for the last value. Interesting. So we probably would like to do this in a string kind of based. But we still want to have the option to pick the first one. Let's build it with this first. So let's go ahead and create this into a future. Same for the implementation. And same for the web, or same for the, yeah, you know what I mean. Okay. Let's do update first. So we need to add an event listener. Input. See if there's a different way we can get this callback. Nope. Okay, let's do our value, which will be a string. Selected color is not equal to null. We're going to kind of wait for this. We're going to also break it out when they cancel. So we can set that here. See, it does do select right here, which is weird, but it's fine. Use capture. Oh. Okay. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, it's definitely event target value. Oh, we may need to cast it. Okay, perfect. Let's do this one right here. And now we want to return the color. And we have a function for that too. Because now we want to convert it back to a Flutter color. So color from string, there we go. Let's use our same implementation. Return color from string. Awesome. Now this may go into an infinite loop on the first time, but let's go ahead and just make sure we print out these two different listeners. Okay, let's go and start our application. We need to do error handling next too. So we have our debug window. Select it. Interesting. Okay. We hit close. Still receiving them. Let's see if we can print this out. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, we immediately return. That'd be a thing. Was it equal to null? That's what we need. Ah, look at that. There is our color. That is perfect. Now what we could do, well, saying we maybe could do it in a functional way. Just have a callback. That might be better in this approach. Let's do this. We're going to do function, color, then value. There we go. Let's go ahead and add that to our unsupported. And let's add it to the web. Because in actuality, I mean, they can pick multiple colors, not just at one time, and the user could just stop listening once they get the first one. But I mean, in theory, they could just have this thing up to their side, doing whatever. So let's go ahead and change that. Now we can remove our while loop and put this here. Okay, perfect, perfect. And now we need to up this. Ooh, we need to change that. It does not look good. Let's do yeah, that's fine. We can actually make this. There we go. Since it could be optional. Let's make that optional here. Let's go back to our example. We're going to have a color, so this is going to be our value each time that we want to kind of pass it in. We do if mounted set state color is equal to color, and we can also print it out just so we can see what it is. And to be fun, let's go ahead and set this as the background color. Let's go and run the example. If all goes well, we should be able to change the background color each time. There we go. Oh, look at that. That is sweet. That is really cool. And what's crazy is we can actually do an eyedropper to itself. That is wicked cool. Interesting. It stops listening for that. Let's try it again. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Wow, that is so cool. All right, let's go ahead and quit that. Now let's go ahead and handle edge cases. Okay, this looks really good. So you go ahead and remove that old code. Probably want to, this could be null. So we could actually wrap this as a callback. So update color. Okay, and then we can do try catch right here for the edge case that it's ever null, and then right here we can check to see if it's not null. Okay, let's go ahead and print this error. Perfect. Cool. We have a way to do this on desktop too, but I'm just trying to debate if we want to or not. We can do desktop and mobile at the moment, but web would be the one that we could submit the 1.0 with. Yeah, that'll be good. So let's, after you create a package, you need to update the changelog. So here, do added color for web. Change the version here. Awesome. Let's update the example. So let's create an icon button here. Whoops, what did I do? There. Then this one. Oh, too many? Yeah, that's weird. No, not enough. Let's try that again. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Do the palette. Okay, select that. I like to add it here usually. You can do 3 backticks with Dart to have the syntax highlighting. I'm going to copy this, add this here, and then I like to usually copy the function so we can kind of get a callback directly. since that's by default. There we go. Cool. You will save an event or changes. And I spelled that. Let's go ahead and fix that. Did I really? All right. Yeah, that looks good. Now we just need to publish. First, this is another thing that I like to do. This allows you to do demos. So let's go ahead and cd into the example. Let's do Flutter build web so we can give a release build. And while we're doing that, we need to update. Let's go ahead and add it to GitHub. And let's do add existing. Packages. Go right at the top. Perfect. Create repository, native, perfect. Oh, we need to remove the thing here. Let's go ahead and open this up in Finder. I actually created a Git repository inside of the example. So we can go ahead and delete that. Awesome. Adding base project. Make it public for all you guys. Let's go ahead and publish that. And the build is done, so we're going to go in and copy the build web folder. Copy all the contents and paste it inside docs. Do adding demo. I do the same process on all my packages, so if anyone's curious. Let's go ahead and add GitHub pages in the docs folder. Copy that URL. Go ahead and add it here. It's always nice to add topics. And let's go back to our project. And right here, I'm going to do online demo. Sweet. And since I have other packages too, I like to add the banner for what I have on most of my stuff. So here we can go to plugins. Let's do Flutter MIDI. Yeah. No, let's do something else. Oh, I need to add one on there. Let's do master branch. Well, we need to add these anyway. So go ahead and add these at the top. Oh, it is there. Okay, so now we can swap this out. Perfect. And last time to publish. So you're going to do Flutter pack. let's go ahead and clear this. Flutter. Oh, let's go back up one directory. We do Flutter, packages, publish, and we might get an error. That's okay. Yep, there's a weird issue on the master branch right now of Flutter, but that's okay. We can do pub trace publish, that'll force it. Interesting. What are we missing? Your author. Perfect, that's what we want. Click yes. And we are good to go. So now, if we update this, and then view this on GitHub, and this should work. Let's make sure that's correct. Native color picker, native color picker, native color picker. Oh, just probably because it's new. Try to refresh it again. All right, let's try the demo. Perfect. We need to fix that. So I'll also show you how to send an update. Make sure we called it correctly. Yep. Icon button, increment. Looks good to me. Let's try that again. Let's just make sure our example works. Okay, so it is still working. We need to also disable that for here. Flutter or debug. Check mode banner false. Oh, of course, we need to also add a dark theme for the demo. All right, let's go ahead and build it again. And we'll just copy those files up. Let's see. Let's go ahead and copy those. Let's go ahead and commit that. Let's just go ahead and see if it's building on GitHub pages first before we publish. interesting. It's only working on Chrome. Okay, so should probably have an edge case for that, but that'll be another video. All right, thanks for watching. If you want to see more like this, be sure to subscribe. Just thought it'd be cool for anybody that's curious about package and plugin development for Flutter. Reach out to me. You can follow me on GitHub and Twitter and everywhere else. Yeah, thanks again.